GVM has just released some professional lights at an affordable price, so stick around because you're not going to want to miss this. If you guys saw my last GVM light video, then you already know that I wasn't a huge fan of the SD80D. Well, I guess GVM really wanted to show me what their capabilities are, so they sent me one of their new Pro lights, the PRO SD300B. And I gotta say, I'm a fan. They did an amazing job with this light. And no, I did not get paid to say that. In fact, I always turn down companies when they offer to pay me for these types of videos because I don't want any strings attached. I want to be sure that I can freely give you guys my honest opinion. Before we get down in the weeds and start talking specs, I want to go over a few cool features that this light has that I've only typically seen on much more expensive lights. For one, it has a fan control. You can select between 3 different modes: smart, high, or silent. I hate fan noise, so I was very happy to see this feature. Now with the smart mode, the light will automatically pick the appropriate fan speed based on the light settings that you've chosen. I typically don't like using smart fan modes because I prefer my fan noise to be constant. That way it's much easier to remove that fan noise in post. In high mode, I measured the fan noise to be about 60 dBA at about half an inch away from the unit, which is really good considering how insanely bright this light gets. Now silent mode is a little deceiving because the fan doesn't turn off completely, but when I measured the noise, it was only measuring around 30 to 40 dBA, which is super quiet. So I don't have any concerns about using this fan as a key light in my studio. In silent mode, the maximum output power is capped to somewhere I'm guessing around quarter power, but that's okay because it's still plenty bright to be used as a key light in most studio environments. When I reviewed the SD80D, my main complaint was the fan noise, so I'm super happy to see this fan control being included on their professional lights. The second feature that I was happy and somewhat surprised to see in a light at this price point was frequency control. Now, for those of you that don't know, LED lights are driven by a process called pulse width modulation, or PWM. Basically what PWM is the light pulses on and off at a certain frequency that is undetectable to the human eye. Now, the longer the light pulse stays on, the brighter the light will be perceived by us. Now, if that frequency isn't chosen correctly with video or photo in mind, that's when you can get flickering or banding in your video or photos. So GVM giving us the ability to dial in the frequency for whatever shutter speed that we're using is a really cool feature. The third feature that I thought was really nice was the ability to change the dimming curve of the light. You have 4 modes to choose from: linear, exponential, logarithmic, or S-curve. The SD300B also has what they call studio mode, which allows the light to remember its settings between power cycles. Now that seems like a pretty simple thing, but it's pretty important because you don't want to be having to reset up your light every single time you want to shoot, especially if you're using it in a controlled environment that you use over and over and over again. A few more things that I think are standout features of this light are: 1, the overall build quality. This thing has a full aluminum chassis and it's built like a tank. The red anodized finish looks super cool and it's really well done. It has an OLED screen on the back that has great color saturation and contrast. And I love the light up GVM logo. The SD300B also supports 8 and 16-bit DMX control for those of you operating in more of a production setting. And it comes with a super high quality case, something very similar to what you'd see from Aperture. I can really only find 2 downsides with this light. 1, it doesn't accept V-mount batteries. Now, it's really difficult to go take this light to go shoot on location if you can't use V-mount batteries. And the second downside that I found is that there's no external control box. So if I have the light boomed up really high out of reach, it would be nice to have a control box down near the ground. Now, I do have the app that I can use, but still sometimes it's nice to have that control box. The good news is that the SD400B and above all come with a control box, which includes V-mount batteries. It's just the 200 and 300 watt versions don't have a control box or V-mount battery compatibility. So if an external control box and V-mount battery use is important to you, then you should jump up to the 400 or above. All right, let's get into some specs. So the SD300B is a 300 watt bicolor LED light with a CRI and TLCI ratings of 97 plus. It has a maximum brightness output of 49,200 lux at 0.5 meters and has a color temperature range of 2700 Kelvin to 6800 Kelvin. It has source mode, which allows you to select between 12 different predetermined scenes, very similar to picking a white balance preset on your camera. In addition to the source mode, it also has 12 built-in effects like lightning, candlelight, paparazzi, all those effects that have become pretty standard on lights like this. All of these settings can be controlled from the light unit itself or from the GVM mobile app. Like I said before, the chassis is full aluminum and it has a standard bones mount for light modifiers. All right, so what comes with the light? All right, so obviously you get the light unit itself. Looks really nice, and as you can see, it has a double-sided yoke for stability. It also comes with the Bowens reflector. You also get what they call a light mixing mirror, which is just another diffuser. You get a DC power adapter, and you also get this really nice case. It's big. Now you can get all of that on Amazon right now for $389 US, or you can get the kit that GVM sent me, which includes a really nice softbox and a light stand for $479 US. The softbox works really well and it sets up super easily. I highly recommend it. So to wrap things up, I am super impressed with GVM's new Pro lights. They're super high quality. They have a lot of pro features, and they are much more affordable than other lights in the same class. I think it's safe to say that I can finally retire my Godox VL150, which is almost 4 years old, and replace it with the PRO SD300B full-time as my main key light. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps me out a lot. My name is Matt, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Don't let me down.